Hello to day 13 of 21 days of live videos. I've named this one Excitement and the Next Best Feeling Thought. I am in Seattle right now. I'm dropping off my daughter who's going to a camp for a week, and there's friends here at the hotel. And it is so beautiful. It's so delightful to be here, and there's excitement. And so that's why I named this one Excitement. And I thought in this brief message, I would share with you something that, as always, that as a takeaway, something that I've embodied, that I can share with you in your journey, that will inspire you, give you food for thought in how you can integrate this perhaps in your life to make your life more wonderful. And this is really it's one of I talk a lot about stress, and I coach people through illnesses, through diagnoses, and there's a lot of heaviness, and I've come from a background of abuse and overcoming a lot of challenges. But my favorite topic is to talk about excitement, and to talk about joy, and to talk about performance, and to talk about being our best selves. It's like, but the beautiful thing is that we can't have one without the other because life always calls us to want. So I haven't started actually sharing too much, but it's the perfect time as I'm stepping more into the truth of who I am, and I'm constantly evolving and constantly again stepping into my true authentic myself, and discovering more and more of the layers, as I hope you are in your personal life and your journey. So one of the things that I rarely talk about, but I will start talking about it now, because the picture it's like a puzzle. It's like I see my life as a puzzle. We're like, yes, exactly. That's why I need to go through that. That's why I wanted to learn that. That's why I've gone through all these things start to come together into this beautiful unfolding in life. And I really love seeing life in this way, and it's very clear for me with my clients as how, okay, this challenge it's obviously here to teach you something. There's a reason why, and it's a beautiful reason, even though you're in the middle of it and it looks horrible and looks like you're gonna die. And so it's like, okay, but once we're out of that and we're on our path, and we're like, okay, there's always gonna be things that cause us to want more. So what I want to focus on in this video is the excitement part and the next best feeling thought, and why is that relevant. And so this is part of something that I've practiced my whole life, and it has a lot to do with law of attraction. And this is the first time I've ever shared that with this audience, with my followers, with people that I know. If you probably are a friend or a family, but I've practiced this forever, and now there was always a part of me that wanted to understand things scientifically, and now I understand it scientifically. There is science behind all of these things that look like it, or they're perceived as woo-woo, as like kind of out there. There is immense data that show, okay, so one of the main things about law of attraction is like, okay, you follow your excitement, follow your bliss. We know those things, right? But what is fascinating is that the heart is the first one, and I teach this in my intuition course, which is all based on data. The heart is the first one to receive the impulse when there's knowledge. It's intuition is this knowing before there's evidence. So let's say you get an impulse, you get you get like this draw to do something, and it feels good. It feels like excitement, and but then your head is the one that talks you out of it. And a lot of times we look back and say, oh, I should have done that. I knew better. But it didn't make sense. And see, we tend to, at times pay more attention to the logical brain, who wants to break it down and tell us all the reasons why it's not a good idea. Yet the first one that gave us the impulse was the heart, was that excitement, and it feels like excitement. And this is one of the many ways that the heart speaks. But excitement is so, we can't deny it. When we're like, ooh, exciting, giddy about something, and then, so the question is, do we go there or not? So that's why I'm saying excitement plus best feeling thought. So if the tendency, if you still haven't developed that trust of like going with the excitement and just like, I don't know what this is, but let's go, because I'm following my excitement, I'm following my joy. So what we can do is to find the best feeling thought after that. So the next best feeling thought is like, well, maybe I'll give this a try. And that soothes the analytical mind that wants to tell you how this is such a bad idea, or like how you're going to pay for this, or how is this going to be, like, oh, you can't leave this person, you can't leave your dog, you can't, all the reasons why we can't follow our excitement or our joy, or like so excitement is a huge indicator, is a huge, it's a built-in mechanism that we have, and that we can utilize, and we should, and we must, and we absolutely must, because it's our indication of our soul, if you want to put in those words, telling us, come this way. This is good for you. This is fun. Hey, look what there are so many things that we cannot explain about how this works, but there are universal forces. There are things beyond our control that are operating behind the scenes, or wherever you want to, see it. But what we can trust is our excitement. And when we learn to trust that excitement, we learn to trust the heart impulse. It's different than feeling anxious. It's different. It's excitement can be confused with anxiousness. But when we learn to pay attention to the subtle differences and get out of our head and really tap into the intelligence and trust that there's intelligence in the heart, then we allow ourselves to be surprised by what it is, why the heart gave us that impulse. And so that's my invitation for you to follow the excitement. Whenever you feel excited, and if your head starts telling you all the reasons why this is not going to work, just find the best feeling thought and go from there and take the next step, because then the rest will start to unfold, and we don't have the capacity to see it all unfold until we actually take the next step. That sounds a lot, actually, like The Secret, the movie. I just kind of noticed myself saying these same words, but back to this is the way that I have lived, or at least had the intention to live most of my life. And I'm telling you that I don't regret it at all, because every time there's a beautiful unfolding, and it's like your life surprises you. And if we can have a framework of the way we think, where we know that everything is happening for us. And I know for the logical brain people, and for the people that, are skeptical, hate hearing that. Everything's happening for me. Well, what's your option? So, and just, you know, we have a big say into what shows up in our life and the way our thoughts are actually helping create our experiences. So finding the next best feeling thought when you've received the impulse to do something, if your brain is getting in the way, is your best bet to go towards where your soul is pulling you towards. And I'm telling you, it's never leading you in a bad direction, because it feels good to be excited. So all right, I'll leave it at that for today, and looking forward to another day tomorrow to see what this day unfolds. And this was a last minute thing for us, and here we are having a beautiful time at the Fairmont Hotel in Seattle. I'm gonna go down and meet friends for dinner, and it's so exciting to that we're all here together. When this morning I wasn't sure what the day would unfold, and here we are having a great already having an awesome time. All right, have a beautiful evening, and bye for now.